good afternoon to everyone. I'm Daniele and today I want to introduce a little bit how the AI can support the bakery manufacturing. So from quality control to smart factories, you know that AI can be introduced as an important tool to improve your process and production. As I just said, AI is becoming today a very important tool in the bakery industry. And at the beginning, the first point to have in the production is the two key aspects are the data collection. Today, in your process, in your production, you have many data available. You have data coming from the oven, from the DAF area, so data from the products, and all this data can be collected and used as a base to make some AI, using some AI tool, making some important application in your lines. Like, for example, enhancing the quality control. So you can use the product of your data in order to do quality control and reject the non-compliant products. And you can use the data coming from the product, but also from the machinery in the line to do improvement in your process and in your production. Okay, data collection and analysis is the first step in our AI project. And it is important to collect all the data and coming from the different equipment in the lines. And can be, for example, the temperature, the different heating points of the oven, the ingredients used in your process, for example, the humidity, the speed of the conveyors, the refrigeration unit if you have a cooling process, and so on. And then it's important also to combine the data of the machinery and equipment with the data of your products. And normally to collect the data of a product, you need to have a proper technology that is in principle a vision inspection system. When I talk about data product, I mean information like shape, size, color, thickness of a product, the temperature if needed, the moisture, and so on. Because these parameters, this data represent an important aspect in order to perform a complete analysis of the data in support of intelligent AI. And of course, all this data normally are saved all together, the data of the product and the data coming from the equipment, the ingredient, the process are saved in a common database, and these are the starting point of the AI approach. When we talk about the products, and because today the information about your machinery, your equipment in the line, let's say, are ready free of charge. Let's say you set a temperature in the oven, you can of course have this temperature, but you can also easily have the temperature, the real temperature in the oven. But when you start to look, to want to see the measurements, the information of the products, you need to use a vision system, a vision inspection system that can be made by a camera, can be made by a laser, a thermal camera, a SWIR cameras, and so on, depending on the measurement you want to take. And one of the most important things when you want to measure your products is to have this information, these measurements must be reliable, accurate, and repeatable. Otherwise, when you do AI, you do data analytics, you don't have the proper answer, you don't have the proper information in your machine learning algorithms. So it is important always to start from a good measurement of your products. Of course, when you need to take these measurements, you need to take in consideration many things. When you mention a vision inspection system to collect the data, you need to know, of course, the speed of the line, dimension, the lighting, external lighting, and so on. And you have also to consider that today there are the possibility to measure the product even on very fast line. There are applications with 12,000 biscuits per minute that can be analyzed and can be measured by vision inspection system. So the data analysis, the data collecting step is the first step if you want to start with an AI process in your factory, in your industry. Then, when you have all this data that needs to be saved in a database, of course, and typically a SQL database is used to collect this data. And as I said, can be data coming from the equipment in the line or data coming from the products all together in a database. Then you can use this data. You can start your process of AI. And the first thing you can do is to do quality control. You have the data of the products, and then you can start using AI algorithms and different approaches. Can be deep learning approaches, can be self-learning approach, and you can start to classify your products. So you can do with manual setting of the features. So I don't want that my product has a radius of 20 millimeters. I set a maximum limit of 20 millimeters. Or you can use AI algorithms which can propose to you automatically the features to be checked, like analyzing the product, like for example, analyzing a round biscuit. A system automatically can give you a measurement related to the diameter, a ratio between minimum and maximum axis, the average color, and so on. And the system can give you, with AI algorithms, all these features automatically, and also a quality receipt. So the system can give you limits, like for the diameter, like for the color, and so on. But of course, the operator can make subsequent modification in order to enlarge or reduce the thresholds of the quality limits. When we have quality control, of course, we need also to implement a rejection mechanism. Like, of course, you can collect the data using for other purposes, as we will see later. But if you do a quality control, you need also to think a rejection mechanism of the bad products. Of course, here there are many different type of rejection mechanism, and there is not a rule to define which is the best one for the specific application. It always depends on many parameters like speed of the line, dimension of the product, how many products per row, and so on. And of course, you can see in the picture here a few examples of rejection mechanisms from the most, let's say, complete system like a robot. We can place to mechanisms like air nozzles, to independent traps or retractable belts. But this is something that it depends, as I said, from the line and from the type of product you use. So first step, AI can be used to do quality control with automatic machine learning or self-learning approaches, which can give you automatically the receipt and the features, the receipt to manage your quality. Then a second step that can be used starting from the data you can collect from your lines is provide live dashboard. So it is important always to give instant feedback to operators in real time in the line, and with a proper layout, with a proper desktop, in order to improve the efficiency and profitability of the line. And the following step of the live dashboard is to provide automatically corrective operating procedures to the operator. Like, for example, if if a vision system see an increase of the color in the line, it means most probably that something is happening in the oven, in the temperature of the oven. So, of course, we can, it can be visualized in a dashboard, the trend of the color, but can be also sent a message in different ways, we will see very soon, to adapt probably the temperature of the oven, or to check the speed of the conveyor, or other information that depends of your process and of the products that you're running. Just to give you some examples of dashboard, you can see, for example, a dashboard on the right, on top right. You can plot information regarding the efficiency. You can plot information regarding the defects you have in some portion of the line. You can give information to the operator in the categorization of type of defects they are having in the line. You can have live dashboard on some parameters of the line, color. You can information about the oven temperature. And as I just said a couple of minutes ago, you can also provide correcting operating procedure. And you can plot in a big screen in the line, in different position of the line, or in the specific panel of the line. So also here, the AI can be support the operator, in particular when you have to provide operating procedure. Because you can, for example, set up the messages manually, like, for example, in a system, in a dashboard, you can put, let's say, the rule that if the temperature is more, if the color of the product is more than a value, then plot the message to correct the temperature of the oven. So here we are still not in an AI application, but a live dashboard is a good starting point to make, let's say, to use the data available and to start to introduce some tools in the factory that go then later in an automatic, let's say, retrofitting of the line, of the process, as we will see in a few seconds. Entering in talking about smart factories, here you can see an example of a possible infrastructure. There are many possibilities because everything is starting from the data. And from the data, and you can implement a structure based, for example, in screens to provide information to the operators, and like efficiency of the line, type of defects, information regarding the temperatures of the oven, the ingredients. So you can plot all the information you think are necessary to the operator. You can add, in addition, information, the same information or different information along the line. Normally, what, for our experience along the line, you can plot information data live that maybe are significant for the process you are managing. Like in the tooth area, for example, you can add information on the shape and size of the product, because for you it's important to know if a recipe you are preparing is producing the proper product with a proper dimension, color, and so on. Then, of course, these are information that can be plotted in a factory, in the production environment. You can have this information also on mobiles, the same information on tablet, on notebooks, and so on. But then you can have all the information also in other locations, in the office. That information are needed, for example, for process improvements or for the quality manager. And so they can keep and see the trends, what's happening in the production from different locations from the office. This is an example, and the applications are many. Of course, depends on the IT infrastructure you have in your factory. But this is a starting point to use the data you collect, and as can be the first step in order to start later with an AI process in the factory. Of course, a bigger step in AI tools is process improvement. Because with this data, as I said, you can do quality control, you can do live dashboard, but you can retrofit automatically your equipment like for example, as I mentioned, the temperature of the oven, the speed of the conveyor, the time in the proof of the proofer. So you can set these things. Of course, here you need to use a machine learning algorithms, and a job is a big step. This one I'm not talking about that is easy to do. Here you need to analyze the data. You have to start also with some a root cause diagram in the company. So this is, I'm talking of what you can do, and I already see some application in this field personally. So this is the first step: real-time optimization, automatic optimization of your lines, of your equipment. Then another topic that can be done is predictive maintenance. You have tons of data. You know what happened on the product, changing this data, because if you see that, for example, you have a darker color, then you adapt manually the temperature of the oven and the color decrease, you have a very important feedback and in your data. And then analyzing using machine learning algorithms, and in this case, you can use this type of these algorithms. Like, for example, you can predict some malfunctions in the line. And of course, more data you accumulate in the time, in the life of your system, of course, your algorithms in predicting and preventing these failures intensify the effectiveness. So it is important always to maintain the system with the data, and as I said, the data must be reliable, accurate. Otherwise, you start from something that is not correct. And then, of course, this is for me step number 3 is simulations, because when you have you can simulate based on the data you accumulate in the time the impact of different scenarios in production, like modify variables, modify, for example, the ingredient. You can see which kind of product you probably have at the end. So you can make simulation starting from the data you have you have collected. So this is all from my side. And of course, I tried to explain a little bit this big word, and today AI is on the mouth of everyone. But in my opinion, it will become a must. It can be done step by step, starting from the data to have clean data in the company, then starting to do maybe some quality control in line, then start to plot some dashboard to give signal to the operator, give information to the operator, and then, of course, last step can be make automatically the adaptation of the line, of the machinery in the factory.
Thank you so much, Daniele, for speaking here at Bakery Live. What made you want to talk about this topic with us today?
Yes, today, because AI today is becoming a very important tool. Let's say we in the bakery industry, we have many data available, and as far as today, they are not used so much to support the process, to support the quality. So my intention with my presentation was just to give some feedback on how you can use this information, that most of them are free of charge, available in the factory. So maybe with an addition of some more information, very few information, you can have all a complete view of what's happening, and all this information can be used also to support mainly to improve your process. Today, the cost of energy, the cost of raw material is increasing a lot. We know, everyone know why. What we can do is improve the process and make the same product, the same quality, the good quality, the best quality, with a better process. And this is, with AI, with this information I try to give you today, this is one possibility.
And Daniele, how did you get into your job role today? Have you always been interested in AI?
Yes, let's say today AI is an interesting point to me, but it is an important point also to the bakery manufacturer. Today, as everyone knows, we are facing an increase in raw materials cost, energy cost, and so improve the process is one of the key points today. And of course, providing a good quality product, the best quality in the product. So we have many data, bakery manufacturing in already available. Maybe just introducing product data, they can combine everything, as I said in my presentation, and have AI used properly in order to improve quality and process.
We saw, from your presentation, just how much AI can benefit bakery manufacturing in all the data it can produce. Do you foresee AI being used more in manufacturing in the future?
Yes, let's say we are at the beginning. To be honest, at the moment I see a lot of interest in AI in everywhere. We talk about AI in many fields today. In the bakery is quite new. I see some companies start to look at this topic. What I recommend is always to start step by step, and starting with the data, having the proper data, clean, accurate, reliable, and then step by step, these tools can be introduced. Just for example, a small dashboard in the factory providing some data, and then using this information, you start and really to have your process under control, your process automatically maybe controlled. So the field is very huge, and require time and of course experience to use these tools.
I think it's an exciting field just because of the different applications AI can have, as we've seen in your presentation. Have you seen these applications change or grow over time?
Yes, and let's say my experience is positive. Of course, need also a strong focus from the manufacturers, because it's not easy to introduce these tools, because required different people involved. So not only continuous improvements, but also operators, the bakers, the quality managers. So it's something that involves the whole team in a factory, but then can bring good results. What I saw is there is at the beginning there is a lot of excitement when you introduce these kind of things, but need also a very focused people involved in this process.
I think that's a good point, and I think from what we've seen in your presentation today, it's clear that you've got a real focus on that and a real passion. So I appreciate you taking the time to speak with me, Daniele, and presenting here at Bakery Live. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.